Hey guys, Colbert here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're on the test server testing out the fusion hero that will be introduced to the game with Lonatharil. There will be 4 epic champions where fragments need to be collected in order to get this one, and then those epics will need to be leveled up, ascended in a normal type and an OG original type of fusion. Maybe you want to call it. So it's a mixed fusion is what we're gonna have. Lonatharil is a legendary HP based champion. I went over his skills in a different video, but the base of it is that he does provide a shield that is equal to the cooldown to your allies, and it's at 20% of his max health unless one of your allies is dead. If that is so, he will do it at a 30% plus a protected buff. Protected buffs cannot be removed or stolen, but it also cannot be increased or decreased by enemy duration skills or ally duration skills. Okay, very simple. A2, which is booked out to be at the 3-turn cooldown, and his A1 skill is a decreased max HP skill, which does do a little bit of damage to enemies. So I wonder if I built him with more damage in the later part of the video, if he's going to be worth it in terms of a damage dealer slash support. And then Finest Hour is his ally attack skill, which provides an increased critical damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. This works great in many situations, but works the best, I would say, for bosses such as the Fire Knight or even the Scarab boss for the Doom Tower. That's where this guy shines a lot. He does have an HP aura also for the Doom Tower, so his kit overall helps with beating that specific boss of the Doom Tower. He's got a Pierce on his passive, which does more damage on targets under shield boss. It's a very specific passive, not so oftenly utilized. I wouldn't grade him so highly because of that. The way that I've geared him for now is very simple with very mediocre gear in terms of stats, but I do reach the 236 speed, 87,000 health, no crit damage because I'll be testing that in a little bit, and no resistance to accuracy because you don't really need it for this hero running War Master and Retribution as the masteries. So let's quickly have a look at him and how he works, especially for the Scarab, because that's where they want us to try this guy out. So we'll go over to normal Scarab. I've just thrown in a team of useful champions in there. You don't even need to have the 2 royal guards here. I might even just remove them just to make it way more friendly for everyone out there. I'll just put somebody there to clear the waves fast, and that's what we want to see, right? So I think I have a Kale in this account. I'm not exactly sure of his gear. Let's put in a War Maiden. Let's go in with that team. The 2 Armiger there are for the terminator reduction possibility through their A1 skills. So the basics for this boss is to just go through the waves and save your shield buff for when you reach round 3. So through the custom AI, you need to stop the shield skill from being used on turn 2, so he manages to rotate through and have the cooldown ready. So once you reach to the round 3 of the fight where the boss is, you'll be able to provide the shield to everyone immediately. Sets to avoid when building these teams with the shields are, of course, the relentless sets, which I do have on the Armigers, but you'll understand on how everything else works, and it's gonna work okay. The biggest issue is gonna be really just going into the fight with a much healthier team. You can adjust the champions that you see here. I would say you need some terminator reduction. I wouldn't say it's not required at all though, because of the shields that Lonatharil provides. They're not as big as you might expect in terms of providing support, especially even for the normal difficulty, which I'm fighting right now, which doesn't really decrease the shields. The shields help you though in order to survive, because the boss doesn't counterattack back when you attack with the shield buff on. So he just does his normal skills, and you see already the normal difficulty boss how low my shields drop, and they even expire on some of my heroes. So the shield that Lonatharil provides is not that big as to have no worries at all. You do need to have some terminator manipulation there in order to ensure that the terminator remains low. The shields do rotate because of the 3-turn cooldown, so you can have him as fast as you want, so he just spams through that skill as often as possible. Even if the shield has expired or is at a very low amount, he will refresh to the maximum amount. And you see there the utility with his ally attack and the terminator reduction armigers there. It basically makes it work. So that is really the team, and if everybody dies, pretty much I'll be okay, because now look at that. I have the protected buffs now. These buffs cannot be removed, and these are also stronger. This shield is now stronger than before because it's at the 30% of his health, and it cannot be removed by any way from the boss, even if he manages to dispel it. If there was a way for him to dispel it, he wouldn't, because of the way that protected buffs work. But the other buffs are not protected. It's only the shield that becomes protected once one of your heroes is dead. So you see Lonatharil's A1 now. He eliminated about 10% of the boss's health, and that's what helps you do more damage. You need destroy gear also for this boss. It's highly suggested to have destroy gear over anything else in order to make this encounter way faster. But even without that, having some poisons, as you saw there, is what makes the run go much easier. And you see overall here, Lonatharil did a good amount of damage with about 200,000 compared to the Armigers and the War Maidens. I wouldn't use Lonatharil anywhere else, honestly. Let's say the clan boss other than the Doom Tower. You can use him in the dungeons. He will help with the shields. He will especially be useful for the Fire Knight if you're looking to build a team that brings down the shields of the boss. But again, you will need to make sure that his A3 skill, the ally attack skill, is saved up so that you can use that once you reach to the boss stage. You will be faster. Use this skill to ally attack with everybody. Get at least 5 or even more, depending on your default skill, number of attacks of those shields down. And then it will make the run way smoother. So this guy also enables, I would say, the Fire Knight and the Scarab boss. But let's do the fun part of the video now. I'll build him with damage. I'll even change to Helm Smasher just to see on his potential of damage output. So we're back. I did build him for damage, running a little bit low on the crit rate with 1% less, but it's fine. With 200 speed, 83,000 health. This is by no means an easily accessible build with the lethal set and a crit damage set, but it's for the fun part of it to see if his multipliers are worth considering adjusting let's just imagine the first pieces of gear that I put on him, which was speed. Let's say if we put more crit rate on him, is it worth it? Is it worth the sacrifice of additional HP for this? The bad thing is that his shield is based on his max HP, so not his damage dealt. So he really lacks compared to champions such as Miscreant Monster or Cernic, who are also very good shield champions. And especially Miscreant Monster does a similar kind of job in terms of just applying a shield, which has an equal turn duration to the cooldown of it. And of course, I'm not even gonna mention Valkyrie when comparing those. So let's get this going with the damage test for this guy. We'll just go into, let's go Nightmare. It's gonna be easier, I guess. No, just normal, but he is Force, so I will probably go to yeah, let's just stay on stage 6 and see his damage right here. What I'm looking to see is his A1 and then his A2 skill damage. His A3 does not do damage on its own. It's just an ally attack skill. So the A1 skill attacks one enemy, decreases the target's max HP, plays a shield buff equal to 10% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns on the ally with the lowest HP. So it should be on himself now. Because of that, 80,000 there through that skill. Let's try and use the A2, but we might have a weak hit here against these spirit heroes. But let's see it. 70k, actually not looking that bad, to be fair. But again, this is the campaign, so look at that, 88k. Because we got a couple of kills there, our damage has increased. Let's see, that's 71k. You see the ignore defense, that's because of Helm Smasher and the lethal set. So let's see the A2 here again. Can we get over 90k? 90k there on a weak target, by the way. It was a magic target, so he's Force. So he will be doing 20% extra damage on enemies like that. So let's check him out in the classic arena. Let's find an enemy. Ooh, Ivy with all of these new champions. So what I will do is I will probably just remove Rotos from here. We just use this team, remove Soulless from here. And let's put Lonatharil in there. There's no buffs or leads that assist HP based champions in terms of damage potential. So instead of Warlord, I will also put a defense down. A defense down would be nice to have just for just damage comparison with other defense. Once you apply the defense down, other comps like that. So we buff, we sleep. Okay, wow, they have no gear on, so this is gonna be a big burst. No defense on them basically. So let's see the A2 skill here. 2 normal targets, 2 weak targets. 97k. That didn't look that great at all compared to the testing that I did before. Let's try it against nub raids. I think this will be very tanky. There's Deadwood's team. There's Deadwood's team from the last time, but he'll probably have. Let's try the nub raids team with this one. It will be very annoying there with Mithshala, but it's fine. And Stone Skin, fantastic. Let's try this. Managed to sleep at least 2 of them. I'm guessing Mithshala is gonna take a turn there. So what I'll do is try to do the A1. Didn't work. Let's try and do a sleep. The debuff block there. Let's try and see his A2 skill here with the strengthen up even. 8,000, but did remove the shields. So that's cool. Try this again. Okay, one of them is dead. A1 skill got through the shield there. That was nice. There's the revive. Let's try to remove everything here, at least from the 2 of them there. Let's test out Lonatharil now with the A2 skill because it did reset. So let's see. Okay, it got through Caterphon. That was nice, even with the protection there from, I'm guessing it's a very tanky Vogoth. This is gonna take forever. Let's try the ally attack here. Yep, worked perfectly. And there's like a revive here possible from this champ. This new Void legendary, which I don't like. I did mention that I don't like her in another video. You'll see that with Chosen. Oh, this is gonna take forever, so I'm probably gonna skip it. But it's better to test his damage, I would say, in dungeons. Yeah, let's go to dungeons and see with that kind of gear. It's gonna take forever. I don't think he's an arena hero by any means. So let's go to Dragon 20 and see with that gear on what he can do. Ooh, spoiler on this team. Let's put a defense down and this guy. That's it. Defense down, weaken, and this guy. Nothing else. Those 2 buffs are very, very important to have, debuffs, but not so easily to get them. The weaken is going to provide the 25% more damage. The defense down is the much easier skill to have. Both of them together, kind of hard. Let's see. Barely scraping through 100k. That was, it's a bit confusing with when doing the campaign. I'm guessing campaign, the enemies there don't have any defense at all. That's why I don't see much difference in terms of damage. Even so, yeah, it's not really worth to go damage with him. Maybe like a critical rate glove would be fine, but you would lose out on a lot of health because of that, because you can have an HP percent glove. Even HP percent boots would have been fine. In terms of multipliers, not that great. Not a double hitting attack. The shield that he provides will be okay, but the damage potential is just about 100k, which is, with that gear, what you would expect by pretty much any hero out there. So in terms of that, in terms of damage test, he's all right. His utility is what you need to think about when you have the champion. Lonatharil is by far a utility based champion with the shield that he provides, the ally attack. The A1 is not so useful in anywhere else other than the Scarab boss. And I would say also the aura is something that's nice to use for the Doom Tower. The passive, not so much. I didn't see any point where it would have made a huge difference, because his multipliers are not that great. Anyway, this was the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I was on the test server, if you guys didn't realize. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.